What's up, guys? Welcome back to the space where we talk about all things human. My name is Shadia and I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. And today I'm going to be doing a reaction to One More Light by Linkin Park. I have heard this song before, but I've never sat with the video. And it's again one of those songs I haven't listened to in a long time. It came out 8 years ago. And if you're here waiting for the last bit of Ren in terms of Vincent's tale, it is coming. I just had very small pockets today and thought I would do these quicker videos to bring some of those comment-driven requests forward. And I absolutely love Linkin Park. I love Chester. I know he passed because of suicide and things of that nature, which very well speaks to mental health and psychology in my role. So I'm already anticipating that this song will make me emotional. But I will add just a little bit because Linkin Park for me, and I'm sure this will unravel throughout the song a little bit in certain points, but when I was growing up, Linkin Park was one of those bands that got me through things. And I will never forget, this is a core memory, and it speaks to things like suicide where people are like, but he had friends, right? He had people, he had this. And sometimes you could have amazing people and sometimes you just have people that fill a space in a room. And I remember, I think this was like junior high, and I had them on. I had Linkin Park playing in the background, like in my room, right? And I was on the phone with my best friend and, you know, just doing my thing. And I was actually totally fine in that moment. I just loved Linkin Park. And I remember my friend was like, "What are you listening to?" And I was like, "Linkin Park?" Like, I didn't talk like this then, but I was like, "What the fuck? Like, what do you mean? How do you not know who they are?" And she was like, "Oh, that band is like scary. Like that music is dark." And I remember being on the phone like, "We're not going to be friends for very long. You don't understand me." It was that quick. I was like, "Oh," because it wasn't, "What are you listening to? I've never really listened to them. Why do you like them?" Like showing any type of curiosity or interest. No. And I'm like, I love them because of the things that I go through, but I don't share that stuff because of this environment. And anyways, it was just one of those things that stuck out to me. So I remember it till this day, of her saying like, you know, people that are basically troubled listen to Linkin Park. And I was like, you mean people that actually go through real shit and feel real things like Linkin Park? And so now we have, you know, Chester, whatever it is that he's gone through, right? And how many millions and millions of people that he connected with, a little girl in junior high. Anywho, so for me, all of it just kind of comes full circle when I think about how much this band means to me. It's an honor and a privilege to do this song. So, gosh, I already feel myself getting to the emotional bit. Okay, let's get to One More Light, Linkin Park.
Should have stayed, were the signs I ignored. Can I help you not to hurt anymore?
The part of my emotion right now that's already surfacing is seeing him surrounded by people, all their hands and their bodies, like this, almost like this big hug of sorts, right? This comfort, this space. Because again, if you love Linkin Park, if you love Chester, like there's a reason for that. So you have all these people in this space looking at him with so much love and light and care, and he's hurting, right? There's a whole world that he's gone through. I know he has a history of trauma. He has a history of battling depression and all these things. And I know he's lost people in his life. And just, I can't even imagine his own story. And then to look at all these people and to be compelled to reach them, right? His lyrics, his songs, and him just being there in that space. We're all human. We're all human. Stuff that I speak to, we're all human sitting together in this moment.
We saw brilliance when the world was asleep. There are things that we can have but can't keep. If they say, who cares if one more light goes out in the sky of a million stars? It flickers, flickers. Who cares when someone's time runs out? If a moment is all we are, or quicker, quicker. Who cares if one more light goes out? Well, I do.
I do. I do. Who cares if one more light flickers or one more light goes out? I know that that can be a part of the thought process when you're thinking about doing this. Like, who cares, right? Who is this really going to impact? Everyone's going to live on, everyone's going to move forward, right? I'm such a small part. You're such a big part. We're all such a big part. And I talk about village and community and how much we all mean something together, right? Every star in the sky matters because it's the culmination of all those stars that brings light in the dark. It's not just the one star that brings all the light, it's the togetherness of all those stars that do that. And I think I mentioned in prior videos, but you know, if you're new here, it's irrelevant to this song. I've known people that have committed suicide. I've known people that were successful in it. I've known people that tried and were not. I've seen the attempt in front of me that didn't actually happen, but I saw the process. And I understand that thought itself very, very well of maybe this could just make it all stop or pause or end for a moment, you know, because things just feel so heavy and it feels like there's no other way out. And it's not until you continue to like live your life and this, that, and the other, and whatever variables, forces that be that come to where you're like, wow, I'm really glad I didn't do that because look how good life is. But I know that's not the case for everybody. And I think that's such a pain point, such a hard thing. And I guess, I mean, here looking at this beautiful soul, this man right here that people will say, well, he had friends, he had this, he had that. And it's like, those are all pieces. They're all important pieces, yes. But there's still a world within a world that is happening. And sometimes that world is so heavy and taxing and has things you could never, ever, ever, ever imagine. And it could just have certain other variables come in all at the same time that allow for that part of them to take over because it's always been there. I know a lot of people have struggled with this their entire life, or it's a voice that they live with their entire life. Some people have learned to kind of befriend it in a way of like, I'm going to coexist with you, but I'm not going to listen to you. And anyways, there's so many different things depending on everybody's story. But I just want to emphasize the importance of every star and the importance of your place here, even if it feels like it isn't that case. And I say that because I believe in people so much, and I've seen it. I've had plenty of clients that were so depressed and suicidal and all the things, and the minute they start smiling, I always get a little bit tearful and I call it out and I'm like, and then they just look at me and they're like, I know. And I'm like, I know. Anyways, yeah.
The reminders pull the floor from your feet. In the kitchen, one more chair than you need. Oh, and you're angry, and you should be. It's not fair, just 'cause 'cause you can't see it doesn't mean it isn't there. If they say, who cares if one more light goes out in the sky of a million stars? It flickers, flickers. Who cares when someone's time runs out? If a moment is all we are, or quicker, quicker. Who cares if one more light goes out? Well, I do.
Beautiful visual. Beautiful visual. Whoever put this video together, job well done. So good. There's a couple things that I was thinking about watching it was when his head went down like that into the crowd. I just imagined for a moment his thoughts were so quiet. Like he's doing what he loves. He's connecting with his fans. But there's something about that visual, like submission almost, like coming down into this place of comfort or togetherness. And I'm just assuming, I don't know, maybe he wasn't feeling any of that, but just watching it, it's how it felt as the viewer, you know, perceiving that media. I can't imagine maybe how much of his world just went still, and maybe why. I mean, I'm sure a lot of artists, right, love to be on stage and love to perform and love to be doing the thing that they love more than anything. I mean, we don't nearly talk enough about identity. Identity is everything in mental health, and our passions and our interests and all the things. And it can feel like you're flying for a moment before you touch ground and everything else kind of sets back in. And then all those other visuals and things of like, just his emotions and his craft and all the things that he pursued, and it was like go, 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 go. And it's like maybe that kept all these thoughts at bay for such a long time, because he was keeping himself so on track in this place. Because that's the thing about the brain, when you're isolated or you give it room to breathe, in a sense, to have all those ruminations or dark thoughts and processes, it's very hard to have all those things in such an intense manner when you're actively busy and engaging and doing a lot of different things. It's like an idle mind, when they say there's nothing more dangerous than an idle mind, kind of thing. Anyway, so watching that part of him be so engaged with his audience and things just made me think about how much the world probably just paused for a moment. And something I do with a lot of my clients is I try to help them find those kinds of things in their life. Like I said, identity and gosh, I always say I'm gonna have a tissue box. A fucking Kleenex sponsor me. Like, give me I need them all over my desk, because for whatever reason, I can never find them when I make these videos. Sorry, be gross with me, as always. But like for me, I've mentioned it so many times. Well, being in the ocean is one. I love being underwater and being in the ocean. It makes my world quiet, and I love it. But Muay Thai for me is being on stage, I imagine, for him. I feel like I'm flying. Nothing else matters. I'm so just wrapped up in that world, and it means everything to me. Muay Thai is life. It is everything to me, and it allows for me to move through and process emotions in a different way, because that's something else we don't talk enough about in terms of humans. We don't always need to talk about everything. Sometimes we need to move through the things that we are going through in a certain form or manner. So anyways, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful video. And also just watching him, part of me just wants to hug him and hold him and say, don't.
Who cares if one more light goes out in the sky of a million stars? It flickers, flickers. Who cares when someone's time runs out? If a moment is all we are, or quicker, quicker. Who cares if one more light goes out? Well, I do.
All right. Oh, gosh. Where do we go from there? Humans. I don't know. I guess that's kind of where it brings me to as humans. We're so beautiful and so profound and so brilliant in every fiber of our being. And it just kills me when these beautiful humans just... Part of my brain is, what did we miss? And maybe that's too much to ask for. Maybe there's things that we will never know and we're not meant to know. I don't know. But then, yeah. I mean, hey, it's part of why I chose this job. I believe in people. I believe in them so much. I believe in you. I believe in you. And if we can just promise ourselves, I've said it before, just one more day. And my hope is that one more day becomes, oh, what's today? And you're not even really focusing on that anymore. But I know there's a lot of pain and hurt and things that we all may go through in this life. Yeah, I know. I'm doing that thing again where I'm just sitting and processing and feeling all the feelings. So important, by the way. If anyone has ever made you feel bad about feeling your emotions are your superpower as a human being. Super necessary. We don't have them for no reason. And yeah, okay, I'm gonna leave it at that because I'm looking at the clock and I low-key will have to get back to work in a little bit. So as always, please, please, please stay human. And one more day.